It does. You can feel the weight.
Yeah, when you hit the brake, you can definitely feel the weight. It's like not stopping for a bit. Yeah. Okay, and we'll just do normal starts for the moment. Okay. Because it still needs to warm. The gearbox needs to warm up just a little bit more. But also just to sort of get a feel of the car, you know, when it's doing when it's accelerating normally, and then you get the sense of it when it accelerates. Race starts. Plus we can do a drag race mode on the track race too. So you can.
It's just such a great big hit, this car, isn't it?
It's awesome. Yeah, I just swore there, but it's worth it. Worth it. Left it. Yeah. So I mean, because it's four-wheel drive, you can honestly just pin it off the line. You don't have to worry about.
Yeah, I was surprised that there was like no spin whatsoever.
None.
Although we are in a drive though, but
it doesn't matter. I've been in the pouring rain with the assistance off, and it's still done it.
Really?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Four-wheel drive. So, and the 4MATIC system as well. So if it feels any slip, it moves that power away from the axle, sends it to a different axle. This time not an emergency stop, nice firm brake like we were doing in C. Okay. So when you're ready, you go. Bigger, heavier car like this with softer suspension, that's like taller as well, like any of those things, they always respond better to being even more careful with how you move that weight. So that's why, you know, when you get into race cars, and especially that single seaters like, you know, in F1, they don't do it, they just go bang on the brake, because to be honest, the time between them, the aero kind of takes care of the sort of balance shift for them, you know. By the microsecond that you get between coming off the power and going onto the brake. I know they're left foot braking, but still there's a little gap there. Is enough for the weight to shift a little bit for us. So, and obviously they've got like the best springs in the world, the best tyres in the world, and everything. So they can just bang the power of the brake on. And but yeah, generally the heavier or taller or softer the car you start driving, the more you've got to kind of just move the weight forward gradually before you really lean into it. Yeah, that's the general rule, essentially. So yeah, on the screen here, you come to a stop and it sets up the drag race for you. So if you just did a normal start, it would then start giving you the times to 60 and 100. So give it another go when you're ready. Stick it on the screen. That's 0 to 60 in 4.01 seconds that was. So let's go round.
Can't this car do it in, what is it, like high threes or something?
That's what I'm saying. So on the right wheel, yeah. So,
right, yes.
Yeah, I mean the C63 does 0 to 60 in 4.2 if you get it right. You know? That's the other thing as well. I mean the C63 has race start too. Yeah. However, I don't think every car needs it. You know, I think it's a bit gimmicky in the C63 because there's two categories of car really. There's more grip than power. There's more power than grip, right? And this car falls into the more grip than power, even though it's got 630 brake horsepower. It's got just infinite grip, it seems almost sometimes, especially in terms of traction. Yeah. And the C63 definitely is the other way around, right? It's very easy to get wheel spin. You've got to be really careful when they come off the line, and otherwise you'll get wheel spin. Now, a more power than grip car does not need assistance on a race start, because the whole idea of a race start is that you're able to pick the revs up first and then drop the brake and they stay up. Whereas, so you don't need that in a C63 because you can spin the wheels and the revs come up, right? You can get that rotation on the tyre. Whereas in a four-wheel drive car like this, you generally find it four-wheel drive, front-wheel drive too, but mainly four-wheel drive, because it's got so much grip and each wheel is only dealing with like half the amount of power that a real drive car would deal with. It bogs down, so you get that kind of initial launch. You might notice that you get that kind of initial launch and it kind of goes whoop, and then picks up again. It's because it's the engine's kind of labouring, just trying to get the wheel to turn, just trying to push the car forwards, and that's because the revs are too low. So it's like trying to just get past that point where it's getting the revs up. So what we can do is put your left foot on the brake. The trick is here not to be too gentle with the throttle, just slam it down. Let the revs pick up, they'll bounce off the limiter. It sounds great coming off the limiter as well. And then when you're ready, you just drop the brake and keep your foot pinned. Okay. So when you're ready, you go. Brake. There you go. 3.5, 60. The whole half second faster.
3.5.
Yeah.
That's as fast as something like an F-Type SVR or something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah,
in a car that weighs like, what's it, 2 tons?
Yeah, just over 2 tons.
2 tons, bloody hell.
Yeah, I know, right? That's only a tenth off the E63, and this is like a good 2.5, 250 kilos heavier, and with 20 more horsepower. You know, and yeah, it just. I mean, you feel it. The seatbelt's like in your gut. You know, what I mean, it's like it's strong.
And that's just on like stock performance. We all know that V8 can make more than 630. So
yeah.
Like a simple tune, and this must be flying.
Yeah, it's a kind of scary fast car because not only is it so fast, but it is so big. You know, it's like, you know, if you got into like an ocean liner and gave it a million horsepower and it was like flying around the ocean, it's pretty scary, wouldn't it? Because you're like, well, okay, how do I stop? You know what I mean?
Well, look, having said that, like driving it now, I don't like, because I'm used to driving larger cars and stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel too loud.
What do you drive yourself?
The C180. But I've driven my parents. They've got a CLS63, and I've driven other cars like the M5 and stuff. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, no, it doesn't feel big. I mean, when you look at it from the outside, it looks massive, but then you get in it, it's not that big really. Do another one if you want. Another race start. Yeah. Can't do too many of them, but when you're ready, off you go. No, off the power. That's a bit too gentle on the power. Okay, so you've got to slam that power down. Just release the brake a bit too quick. It was like halfway there, and then we dropped off the brake, and it was, you can see, that's a 3.84, and that's the whole of the idea of the race start. Firstly, it puts it into sport handling mode, so it allows a little bit of rotation on the tyre to happen, and that keeps the revs up, and keeps you driving forwards, right? But that was a little too low in the revs there. The rotation didn't happen, and the revs just didn't pick up that quickly. So.
And can't you also adjust the revs as the race start as well? Like you can make it more than 4,000 or less than 4,000.
I'm not sure about that because we've always left it where it is.
Okay.
Yeah, but generally it's in a pretty good spot already. So yeah, let's give it one more go, and we'll have to get the clutch and brake. Yeah, rear wheel steering, drift mode. The whole lot.
You can feel like it just turns so quickly.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be honest, you're not feeling it right now because it's not active yet. There's only about, it's just that responsive. It's the hydraulic steering.
This
rack.
is hydraulic.
Hydraulic steering rack, yeah.
I thought that was only on the 2-door GTs.
No, it's on in the 4-door as well.
That's why you get so much road feel then.
Yeah. You can feel it's just smoother.
Yeah.
It's smoother, and depending on what. It's very subtle, but if you put it from like comfort to race mode, it just gets a little heavier. What was I saying? Lost my train of thought. Just having a go. That post-lunch coma I felt fish and chips.
So I have to slam it down really quickly.
Don't muck around with it. You're basically telling the computer what you want. If you're holding on the foot on the brake and you just rest your foot on the throttle a little bit, it kind of goes, that's not what you do. It doesn't understand, right? So you've got to keep your foot on the brake at about 30 to 50% brake pressure, and then slam that power down. Let the revs get up to the point, and it's okay to let them bounce off the limiter. You know, that's why the limiter's there, it's safe in the car, so it's fine. Right. You ready? Power. That is the fastest. 3.4. Yeah, max. There you go. And you can feel, you can see the difference. Just getting those revs up, just 1,000 more. That's what we did. That's all that happened.
That's what I love about V8s. They're so effortless.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
Big lazy V8, and then stick 2 turbos on it. Going mental. Yeah. What was I saying? So rear wheel steer, hydraulic steering. Oh yeah, so the rear wheel steer. Sorry. Yeah, that only activates over some weird speed, like 27 or something. So unless you're going 27 through a corner, you won't feel it, and but you definitely notice when it's on and not. And it really likes to operate. Let's do it down the slalom actually. Let's just take the slalom down and then sit it at 30 miles an hour at the limiter, and you should be able to feel a little bit there. But it was a good idea as well to do it before you go on the track. You can feel how much it moves around. Lane 3 again. Just to give you an idea of the kind of how it moves side to side in a big space like this. Just hold it there. Yeah, the I keep forgetting my train of thought. What was I saying? Yeah, so the real steer really likes being, you know, you've got to treat it like the cars on train tracks. You know, it doesn't like it's there to allow the car. You know, I was saying earlier, the back of the car rotates around the front, and that's how you get around the corner a bit faster. It's helping it do that. That's what it's designed for. It's allowing that little bit of rotation, extra rotation at the back of the car without having to slide the car, which is slow, right? We want to roll the back of the car out there. We want to steer it out there and get the tyres facing the direction they're going, not slide them, because that's going to slow you down, right? So it's just helping you do that, and to do that and to really use that to full effect, you've got to kind of like lock it in onto an angle and just kind of lean into it like that. But we'll just feel it here on the panel on the right. Just set the limiter to 30 miles an hour. Do you want to do that? So press that lim. That's it. Press set plus. And that's not a hard limiter. You can't just accelerate hard up to it and it will hold you. It's a soft one. So if you accelerate hard enough, it'll just go past. Right. It'll kind of jump past it automatically. So just cruise up to it like you would normally at 30, but then when it levels out at 30, you just hold your foot in the same place and it will just stay at 30. And the yellow discs on the dotted line to our left are the slalom course.
Okay, these ones right here. Okay, yeah.
That's it. Yeah. And this is not for any sort of like this particular exercise right now. Okay. I don't want to kind of like muddy the water with what I've been telling you with a four-wheel drive car, so to speak. You know, it's a slightly different style, but we'll do a little bit on the you'll feel the difference on the track. But just for the moment, just drive down there close to 30 as you can, and feel how the car moves around.
Okay, and shall I start from the left?
No, you start this side. You start in this lane, and you go around the back of the first one.
Okay.
So I'll tell you when. So you just keep going forwards. And then you go left here. That's it. And then you take it right. And then you go left again. And so on and so forth. Around the orange cones you're on. There you go. Feel the seats inflating as well.
Yeah.
You can change the strength of that too. So you can change how strong it is and how weak it is.
It feels like it's sort of crushing my side.
Yeah. Is it a bit too strong then? Do you want to turn it down?
How do I turn it down?
So it's in here. Go comfort. And then you go to massage. Comfort. Side bolsters, dynamic seats. There we go. Level 1. So that should be a bit better now when it's turning. But yeah, works your abs. It does feel like you're sort of being wrestled by the car a little bit. Yeah, okay, we'll do the slalom another time. Go on. And then we'll jump on the track. Yeah, and then we can later on we've got the GTR, but yeah,
nice.
we'll do it. We can't take the GTR drifting, so I think we'll do a bit more of the drifting stuff in this. So we'll do a bit more wet surface. We'll still do the track by all means, but like I said, I don't want to kind of like get you confused between how you handle a four-wheel drive car and a rear-wheel drive car, because four-wheel drive really isn't that relevant if you're going to be going to racing.
You want rear-wheel drive, shouldn't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, most of the time. I mean, it's not what you want, it's like what is out there. I don't know of a four-wheel drive race car right now, apart from rally cars. So. Right. Sorry, Ollie, just been jumped by two people. Okay, when you're ready. It's up to 30. Try and get the weight to level out. A lot of weight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you see what you had to do there?
Yeah, I sort of steer more and more. It went side to side more, yeah.
So to level out the car, you've got to give yourself the opportunity to have that straight line, don't you?
Yeah.
So that means in the corner, you've got to get the car rotated more. Right? So you use that. That's
the gaps are so small though.
I know. But it's really testing it, isn't it? It's really good. I mean, but that's the classic. That's like coming out of turn 6 here into 7, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you try and take it like a nice big sweep and drag it back across, you haven't got time. We'll go to the track. When you pull up, just before the gate, just well, not the limit drop. That's it. Yeah, nice one. We'll just let these hot laps go. And then steer the mirror. Yeah, just enjoy yourself, mate. The thing with 4-wheel drive cars, just so you know, is obviously the traction, like that's will go without saying, but also the stability that you get mid-corner when you're if you were to roll through a corner in a rear drive car, eventually there's a point at which the back of the car starts to break away, right? Because it's got engine braking on the rear tyres. Okay. In a 4-wheel drive car, it's much more about rolling it as far as you can and then getting on the power, like smoother, but you've got that extra stability mid-corner to roll as much as you want, really. And it's not really going to break away from you that much unless you're really aggressive on the way in. So.
Caution, traffic event ahead.
It's quite subtle.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily feel it all the time.
Maybe you can feel it more on your T-door GT models.
I'll tell you where you do feel it more is in the higher speed corners.
Oh, okay.
That's where you really do feel it. Like through here. But mainly because in the higher speed corners you don't necessarily want the back sweeping around rotating on you.
Yeah.
So when it does you're like, oh god. But it's just you've got to kind of like retrain your brain to just not react to it and go like it's okay.
But then at higher speeds, doesn't it? It works differently than at lower speeds, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like it goes in the same direction as the front wheels or something.
Oh, yes, that's if you're changing lanes on the motorway. Yeah.
Okay.
It kind of works that out by the way you're turning and stuff like that. It's constantly just like watching you basically, just like seeing what you're doing. But yeah, you wouldn't want to like turn into let's turn 4 coming up here and have the back of the car turn in as much as the front. That would be weird. That would be like what's going on. You still want the car to rotate, right? You want the front of the car to point where you want it to go. Yeah, still suffers from that getting on the power, moving away. There's a lot of it, and it's very high up now, and it's very soft suspension compared to what you've been driving to see, and a lot of weight. So even a little touch like that can really throw it all off balance. Yeah, so you've really got to take care about getting on the power even a smidge early. That's what I mean. You've got to use that extra stability to then even roll it even further through, and then get a much straighter line before you really, if you want to get a full effectiveness out of the throttle. Obviously, I'll point those out as well. The braking markers back there, those are set up for like a C63 in the drive, right? So C63 is only coming down at 100, and obviously they're a lot lighter. This is quite a bit heavier, and we're also getting there much faster.
Yeah.
If we're pinning it from turn 3, we can get that at like 110. So
okay.
yeah, it's obviously just when we do start picking up the speed a bit more, and we turn 5, just take it a little easier. In terms of that braking point, don't get sucked into just braking where it is. I'll keep in mind. Good so far. But yeah, lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's just such a nice, for such a big car. It's really nice. It's a really nice thing to drive. It's not cumbersome. It's really responsive. It leans in lovely like that. Like that. Yeah, it leans onto the tyre. Deck. If you just do a couple of slower corners just for a moment, just so I show you this, something on here. So obviously you've got the track pace over here,
Okay.
and you can have like live data as well.
Oh,
It's
wow.
just unbelievable, like the amount of data you can get. But also, which is quite cool, you can get AR.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you've got a ghost car. You chase, that's you from a previous lap, basically.
How the heck does it do that?
How wild is that?
So you can race yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and in fact, if you when we come back around to the entrance, if you just slow down again, just look at the screen, it will have a floating like lap counter above the start line.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a full-on video game. Not sure who's going to be looking at that as we're going around. You know what I mean? You should be looking at the road really, but yeah, just using GPS data and steering and throttle, speed, position, stuff like that. Yeah, so let's check the screen out here.
Oh, there it is. That's really cool.
Wild, isn't it?
They should put that on the heads up.
Yeah, I know, right? That'd be way too distracting.
Yeah.
Imagine, yeah, like a projector come out and somehow project onto the glass or something like that. Very nice, yes. So I'll just use a gear lower than what you're using at the moment for every corner.
Oh, what, second gear? Okay.
Yeah, so for the hairpins, just use second gear. That's going to help the car kind of stop, turn, and go, you know. And then same with turn 5. Then straight, we'll take a fourth gear through there, and we can go maybe try 4. 4 might be alright, but definitely the next corner after that is definitely a second gear corner.
Is that bits of rubber?
Yeah.
Tyres must be getting hot.
No, that's not from us. That's
Oh.
just debris on the track of it. So. Might have given me
I'm hearing a bit of tyre squeal though.
that's from the front tyre, isn't it? So I mean,
It's
why?
too heavy.
Yeah. Or maybe our right foot's a little too heavy. Maybe I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Remember?
Yeah, no, I do.
It's a really common thing, honestly. Probably the most common thing I have to fix is people getting on the power through the corner. I completely understand why, because when you're learning, you're always going to come in to the corner a little too slow, right? It's just going to happen. And then the instinct kind of reaction to that is to get on the power to push it faster through the corner, you know? But
Yeah.
it's just going to make things worse. So, let it roll. Wait. Turn. Okay. Let's jump off for a second, and I want to take you back to the slalom. And I'm going to spend more time doing this. I'm going to spend more time on the slalom with you in GTR because it's more relevant, but we can definitely feel the weight transfer more in this car, right? So you can understand what's actually happening. So I'll go for the blue cones here. And if you just don't pull up into the blue cones in lane 3, but just pull up sort of like where this joint in the tarmac is facing it, so put this out of the way a little bit. Right. Yes. 6 miles on the track, so. Now this is all about how a tyre operates. Okay, so a tyre is not just like a circle on the it's not just like some rubber thing that's stuck onto the metal tyre, the metal wheel. It's it moves, right? It's flexing and moving all the time along with the suspension. Okay, and learning how to get the best out of the tyre can take, I'm not even kidding, like take seconds out of your lap time, just understanding how to get the tyre to rotate the car better. What you're doing is lovely, really nice and smooth, but with every smooth driver they always suffer from this. And I'm the same. I started out really smooth and I had to kind of like roughen the edges a little bit to try and get myself to do it.
Okay.
I had to go kind of leave too far one way and then find a happy medium somewhere, but I'm not saying we do that. But when you're turning in, do you often feel like the car's settled? Like when you turn in, you stop turning because you feel the car's like settled. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like loaded up, right? That's the point at which the tyre is ready to go. What you've done there is the same thing that you do when you just touch the brake a bit to load the front up before you hit the brake properly. That's that gentle turn. You just loaded up the tyre and the suspension. At that point, you can then go be more aggressive with the steering,
Okay.
and be not more aggressive, but more positive with the steering. Like get the car to turn. But you've got to get. You're doing the first bit lovely because you're a smooth driver. You're loading up the tyre, and at that point you can then go like that and add a bit more. Like try and twist the tyre into the ground. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not turning in quick enough then, basically.
It's not about turning in quick enough. You'll turn. I keep the first bit, the initial bit, the same. In fact, it's not really even from the turn in point. It's closer to the apex of the corner, like just before you get on the power again. You want to kind of just give it an increase of steering lock to finish off that rotation quickly, and then you can go bang into a straight line and go. You see? And it's like, you know, if you got a pencil eraser, like a square one, and put it on, just like rest it on the table, yeah. If you weren't putting any pressure on that, you could turn that left and right and slide it, couldn't you? So that's the tyre, right? If you're not putting any load on that tyre, you can turn it. Once you put load on it and you try and turn the rubber, it twists, right? And you generate load. It twists down and pushes further into the table, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You're doing the same thing with the tyre. By loading it up, you're compressing it, and then you're going to go like that and twist, and that generates enough kind of like rotational force at the front to just move the back and get that rotation from the back of the car to let the car then come around you and face where you want to go. Right? I know it's a lot to take in, but you should be able to feel it much better in this car than you would do in the GT, purely because it's moved around a lot more and you're putting a hell of a lot more weight on the tyre too, so you're going to feel it a lot more. So the reason I brought you back to the slalom is because remember where we left it, you said to get the straight line in, you've got to turn a little tighter.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're trying to achieve. Okay, we're trying to get that extra turn in to give us that straight line, right? So instead of making it, and you took the slalom the way you naturally took the track as well, which is like these lovely big sweeping arcs, yeah. But you start running out of space, right?
Yeah, it's just got worse and worse and worse by the end. Yeah.
Exactly, and it's the same thing happens on the track, right? It's the same thing. You these lovely sweeping arcs, they look beautiful, but you start to get a bit out of sync if you're a bit too late getting back across and stuff like that, and then it all kind of compounds itself. So it turns into a little bit more of a zigzag than an S, like a slalom. You're kind of going like this, yeah?
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
So stick the limiter back on, and we're going to go. Yeah, you've got cruise control there.
Oh, sorry. Press. Oh, here.
There you go. Yeah. I think it toggles between them.
That's I see. Yeah.
What we're going to do. So you've got the centre line with the yellow discs on. You've also got this white line to the right hand side, and you've got the dotted line between lane 1 and 2. Okay. That whole thing is our road, right?
Okay.
Between those white lines. So you've got the centre line, one line. Yeah.
Yep.
You're going to go from one line all the way through and touch the other white line, and then come back round.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and still make the throttle. All right.
Okay.
So you're going to have to get the car to rotate, and that's also going to give you more space to get a straight line.
Okay.
We'll give it a go. See how you get on. Right. So up to 30. I want you to touch that white line and touch this white line. That's it. So now it's not a quick turn in. Lean the car in and then add the extra steering lock. Turn in. Wait for the car to settle. Wait for that weight to move onto that tyre and settle onto the tyre. Because you can feel at the moment it's kind of wobbling, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're throwing the weight onto it and it's kind of wobbling around. Yeah. Lean it just like you were doing, like this nice gentle turn in to lean the weight onto the tyre, and then once you've got that compression, you twist. Yeah. Good effort. And you're using you use the whole lane all the way down. A lot of people just give up after about 4. But this is the real secret, like that. You know, everyone goes like smooth is there to be smooth all the time. Like yes, be smooth. However, you still got to use what you've got. Use the tyre. Yeah. Being smooth and using half the tyre's potential is not the same thing, right? You can still be smooth and use all of the tyre's potential, like work the tyre properly, right? And get it to. And also, if in a race situation, this will be beneficial because it's going to be better at generating heat. It's going to heat the tyre and operating window, all that stuff. So all that lovely stuff. So yeah. When you're ready, let's have another go. So side, that's it. That's it. Now, so lean it in. So not chuck it in. Yeah, that second to last one was a bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah.
But I did feel, yeah, one of them I think I sorted it right because I felt like I did that twist thing at the very last second and it turned in like...
It's difficult to get the balance between chucking the car in and being too smooth again and then turning too late. It's more like an acceleration of your steering rate, okay? So think of it like that. You start turning like smoothly, and as soon as you feel that weight move over, you go twist like that. Like you get it to turn, almost get to the point where the front tyre's starting to slide. Yeah?
Okay.
Because if you just throw the car in like that, the front tyres will slide with no compression, and they'll just go like that and just slide straight forwards. If you get some compression first and lean the weight onto the tyre and then twist it, yes, they'll slide, but they'll try and go that way. Yeah, they're going to try and skid and go round the corner. Yeah. Okay. Let's have another go. Second one you do. Yeah, not 20%. That's more like it. Not a shark. Lean it in and then twist. So more turn. More. Go over. 180. Go that wheel round. That's it. There we go. Did you see the last one? And that one.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's happened. That's what we need to feel. Okay. The first few and on the 2 runs before as well, we are always just doing the classic smooth driver thing of feeling the weight load up and stopping, and then that's the compression. That's the tyre twisting. No, it's not. That's the tyre taking up the load and having no slack left. Yeah, and then you go bang. Yeah, you were stopping at about where the top of you were kind of getting to like this point, and we just needed that.
Right.
You see. And then you get the car to rotate. You see how much quicker it is. It's like an exponential curve. Like anything in a car, in terms of like, you know, the braking and the acceleration as well. It's quite an exponential curve, right? Because you're kind of building pressure with everything. Yeah, you're trying to load things up, and the more load it takes, it's at the sharp end, it really ramps up in how much pressure it's pushing. You know, so when you're ready. Have another go. That's it. Yes.
Oh no.
That's got a bit out of sync at the end, but much better effort. You feel the difference?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Good. I think, well, should we give it one more go so you can get a clean run towards the end? But that was much better, yeah. And just got a little behind it on the last. It took only like one gate, and then you were suddenly like, oh wow, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's just that was much better because all of them, every single one, even though you missed the last one, you were going all the way round and really like pushing the tire. You should really think of that steering wheel past a certain point as it's like a twisting motion, yeah, like a torque generator. You're generating torque on the actual tire itself, and the way that works is because the tire is not just a rock solid square, right? It's two uprights on a flat base, right? So when the tire turns, it does that. It kind of falls to the side over in an arc like that. Not completely flat, obviously, but the sidewall kind of falls over, right? It will tuck underneath and everything like that. And that's where it's generating the grip from. The more you get that tuck to like really push in to the road, the more grip you're going to generate. If what most drivers feel is they feel that tires fall over, the sidewall of the tire just fall over, and the sidewall kind of settle, but it's not kind of doing that. It's not. Then that's what you're doing by adding that extra steering wheel. You're going like that. You're twisting the edge of the tire, the shoulder tire, into the ground, and that's what you're trying to get. And plus, the tyre is not a completely flat contact patch either. Yeah. It's a slight curve, like the shoulder just sits slightly off the road. So when you're turning, it leads onto the tyre, and by twisting the tyre, you're actually increasing the contact patch because you're flattening the tyre into the road. So that's where the grip comes from. Yeah. With a smooth driver, it's being silky and smooth, but the contact patch is staying very small. Yeah. Right, let's give it one more go when you're ready. Don't shock it, remember, don't shock it. That's it. There you go, that's better. And twist. And twist. And twist. And twist. That's it. And twist. Very nice. Good. Yeah. You can feel it in your abs as well.
Yeah.
Excellent. Nice. And that works for, unless you're on cross-ply tyres, that will work for every car you're in. Just depends on what PSI you've got with the tyre really, and how much you can do it, and really lean on that tyre. So, but that that is where you get rotation from. Not saying that's what you do for every single corner. You don't necessarily want that in a fast corner, do you? But for like a hairpin, it's magic because we're going to go on the track here. Just to put that into practice. Yeah.
Okay.
Then we'll try a bit of wet circle in this car. Take the limb truck as well. You ready? Off you go. But what you probably felt when you started adding that extra steering arc is you didn't felt you were like being pushed onto the next corner, right?
Yeah.
So you had the time to get the wheel straight and then have another go in another direction. Let's try it here. So gentle turn in and then compress. Look at that, you almost turned it too much, you see? Yeah, there we go. So now we can turn in later, get that rotation and get in a straight line for an acceleration. You don't want to accidentally turn in too early when you go for that compression. Yeah. Yeah. We're not powering through the corner. Let it roll. Get a little power. That's it. You see. Another very good reason why we don't want to get on the power through the corner. How can you compress the tyre and twist it if you're pulling it away from the road? Right. It's not going to work. one. So let's just keep an eye on that. And it's making you, you can feel the difference. It's making you just miss. Not grip. It's not giving the tyre a chance to grip. Second gear for this one. And that second gear will allow you to get off that brake and roll further through it, right?
Yeah.
Give it some power, go for it. A much wider turn than anything. Try not to throw it in here. Lead it in. That's it, straight across. A little bit too. Didn't quite get it into turn one, right? I short shift to third there actually, so between 7 and 8. It just gives you that little bit of extra kind of roll through the corner there. Kind of short shift and then don't go back on the power again. And just use the gear to let it roll through and then pick up the power after the corner. To the left, squeeze the power. Down to second first, and then as I get on the power out of turn 1 into 2, I grab third. So I again get the same effect of rolling through the corner through turn 2 a bit better.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
You change down to get extra engine braking, to get the car to slow down better, right? Even as after you've let go of the brake into a corner. But you can also use the other way around, where you change up before like a kind of lift off corner where you want to just roll through it, just to get that extra kind of distance out of the car. Take some of the resistance off the engine. On the power, third gear, and then lift and roll, and back on the power again. That's it. Down to second for this one. In tight. Straight across, grab third, and lift and roll. See how that works? Yeah, it just feels a bit freer to kind of go. Second. Should we have a little look at that on the circle?
Yeah.
Yeah, good mate. Just still just occasionally carrying the power through the corner.
Yeah.
That's, you know, it's going to be a hard habit to kick, that one. And especially, you know, with a car like this as well, it is pretty intimidating just throwing a car this big and heavy into a corner as hard as you can. But it will hold. It's kind of unbelievable. Yeah, it's ballistic. Right, we'll take a right hit. We'll start with four-wheel drive, just so you feel what it's like.
Okay.
Four-wheel drive drifting, and then we can whack it into rear-wheel drive. Yeah. On you go. Yeah. Just cruise around for the moment. Feeling alright? All good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Little tip as well for the if you once you get into your racing and stuff like that, and you start sort of having to set up cars and everything for the good conditions. I don't know if you know much about car setup or anything like that.
Not really.
Not really. Yeah. Generally, the less grip you have in terms of the conditions, or the tyre or whatever, the softer you go. Yeah. So if you've got you've got brand new tyres on and it's a nice hot sunny day, you probably want to go nice and stiff, because you don't want the car gripping too much, because it will just feel dead. You can't move it around, you can't get it rotated, it will just understeer, and there's always more rear grip than there is front grip. The objective is to try and get the back to kind of move around you to get the car to go through the corner. When it's wet, I mean, I remember from before, we used to just disconnect the rear roll bar. We used to just unscrew it and just take it off, basically, to let the back of the car kind of just fall about as much as it wants, because that way you're putting all the load through the suspension and almost none into the actual tyre, because say a little grip on the road, you can't rely on the tyre to kind of be leant on and not slide, you see. So the less you can put the weight on the tyre, the better. So when it gets wet, if you're in like MX5 Cup or something, if it's wet, take that rear roll bar off, or do it, take it down as low as you can, basically. And you can do the same in a car like this. When you put it into, you can leave it all in that setting, but you can just change the suspension setting here. So let's just cruise round for the moment. Cruise round with all the systems on. Cruise round. Just gently build the speed up until you feel it start to slide on its own. Oh, gentle. It's very jumpy, isn't it? Cruise up on the power. Just keep on building up.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Yeah. It's quite sudden, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got tons of grip anyway. And just try and when it does slip, try and stay at that speed. Just try and keep the same amount of throttle and just keep them kind of push through it almost.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, feels horrible, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And partly because it's just four drive, and partly because it's got this really stiff suspension on. So if we take that all the way down to comfort mode, off you go. It will slip at the same speed, but the way it goes might be slightly different. Okay. Gentle on the power.
Yeah.
Try and stay off that brake. Okay. Just let it slide. It's much more of a kind of slow, relaxed slide. I mean, it's not much different in a car like this. In a C63, you really notice it. It's just that this car's sort of so kind of like tight and responsive that when it does go anyway, it just goes. Right, that's with all the systems on. Give it loads of power and see what happens from the speed.
Yeah, traction control.
Yeah, and lots of grip.
Yeah.
The thing with four-wheel drive cars is when you spin the wheels, all four wheels spin, and it will just go sideways that way. So if you pick the speed up just to 10, and then give it a big burst of power, go for it.
Bloody hell, yeah.
Yeah, second go. Yeah, kind of just goes that way, right?
Yeah.
Look, I'm not gonna teach forward drifting today because, to be honest, I find it completely irrelevant. Some people love to do it. I don't get it myself.
Rear-wheel drive drifting.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can do it, but I do it and I'm kind of going, what is the point of this? We're doing, like, unless you're in WRC, in which case you don't need to, I don't know. It's just a weird one. But that's what it feels like when you slide in a four-wheel drive car. It's a bit like if you've ever been on like a jet ski or like a boat with an outboard motor or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That happened, but okay.
Okay. But they steer with a rudder.
Yeah.
That's getting like water passed through it. Yeah. And if you're not giving it power, it's just a floating thing. It just floats about, doesn't it? So four-wheel drive works the same way because the front wheels are driven as well as the rear. When the back of the car slides, you have to stay on the power a little bit to stay in control, because the front tyres are going to be still directing where the car goes, but they need to be kind of pulling at the front. Yeah. So if you ever go on a jet ski and you're wondering why it's not turning when I'm doing this, it's because you're not giving it power. It works the same for four-wheel drive. So anyway, enough of that. Very boring. So, a little bit of a process getting into drift mode, not too complex though. I'm going to take the assistance off, and we're in manual already, and then race mode 2, so we pull both the paddles in together, let go, and up with the up paddle, there we go. Drift mode active.
So now it's rear wheel drive.
Rear drive only, all 630 brake, all going to the rear, and it's obviously quite a tight differential because it's forward drive already, so when you're ready, if you want to start, just try and pull away. A little different, isn't it?
Yeah. I can barely pull away in this.
Yeah, yeah. And you can feel the tyre dragging along the ground as well, because it's now that rear diff. It was already pretty tight, but now it's having to deal with 630 brake rather than like a 400 or something like we were before. So give it a burst of power, see what happens.
Yeah. Wow. Much better.
Are you ready? Found out the you already found out the one issue with drifting the GT. Very little steering lock.
Oh yeah.
Because of the rear diff, it's a much tighter window as well, of like the sort of Goldilocks zone. And the C, it's lovely. It's like a big lazy car, just slides wherever. With the GT and the E63 it's like more of a knife edge, and then in the GT you've got actually less steering lock, so you can't go as far as you think. You're just shy of like a full turn to the left. Yeah. When you're ready, left. Still got to turn the wheel.
Okay.
Just like behind the curve last time, and we were trying to pump the power. Remember what we were doing with the power earlier?
Yeah.
On and off. 10 miles an hour, going around the corner. Oops. Yeah. And in a car like this, with so much weight, you start off too high at speed, and it's just going to fling you off the circle. So that's it. That'll do. This is left. Okay, straighten up. Power, remember? Yeah. So we're not. No, steady. Okay. So what you're doing is trying to put on lots of throttle. Throttle does not equate to power. You can put on 100% throttle for a split second, and it's not going to pick the revs up.
Okay.
Yeah, so we need to get the revs up, right? So up to about 4,000 or 5,000. Listen to the engine.
Okay.
Steady on the power, steady on the speed. Speed down, like this. There we go. Big burst of power. Go for it. That's better. Left. Let it slide. Just let it slide. Just let it slide.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember when we were on the way straight earlier? It was on off, like they're like trees, you know. Steady. I can see it on the trace.
Yeah.
You got to 98%, but the revs only got to 3,000. We went up from 4.5. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not about getting it to 100% gas.
Yeah.
You want it to get it to you want to get to 5,000 RPM. Yeah. So even if you have to give it like an 80% power burst, but stay on it a little longer. Go for it. Left and left. Right. Too low and too quick.
Okay.
Left and left. See how you're having to give it like 2 or 3 bursts, right?
Yeah.
And it's uncontrollable. It's going that way. Slow down. I want a proper burst of power. That's better. Off. Stop wobbling the wheel around. Don't wobble the wheel. We're going like 10 miles an hour. It's not going to fly around. Yeah? Keep it steady. Big burst of power. And up. Left, left, left. That caught you out. But that's the better way to do it. That's the proper way of doing it. That just caught you out. Big burst of power. Go for it. Why don't we jump off here? How about then just turn it, like spin it around and queue up behind the blue car again, and I'm just gonna give you a lap or two to demonstrate. Because you've got all the right bits, you've got all the right ingredients, you just don't know the recipe yet. You don't know which order they go in. You know what I mean? Putting the eggs in before the flour. I don't know how to make the cake, but you know what I mean. P for Park, is it that? Yeah. rubber, you know, and it looks pretty rock solid to me. This is crazy, the amount of force that goes through this car, you know what I mean? It's so heavy. Right. Yeah, I think we're just lacking focus and forgetting what it's, you know, sounded and felt like when we were doing it earlier. So don't need to be going fast, 10 miles an hour. In fact, it's easier when you go slow. And the idea here is we're trying to break traction and get the wheels spinning for a long time without us having to do anything else. So that doesn't result from a very short, quick off like that. It comes from a bit of a longer burst, but then we get the revs up and down, right? So like this. See how long I could slide there without having to do anything else? Same thing again. Sounds better as well. Yeah. Get the res up, yeah? Like that. Right, okay. And there's none of this hacksawing at the wheel. You do that. And it goes like that, you know what I mean? Instantly becomes uncontrollable. Right. And then once you get sliding, once you get that one big burst, let's slide out. Kick that a bit more then, so I've got to wait a little bit. There we go, pick it back up again. On the box stops there, so I'm just going to come back a little bit, get the angle out of the car. So you can see the needles going up and down. Not mucking around with it. So see how far I get to travel before I have to do anything else.
Really, you have to use the steering.
Yeah. If you have to use this more than the throttle to stabilise the car, you got it the wrong way round.
Okay.
That's really annoying. I like the second gear because you get the deceleration when it comes on. That's what's keeping you on the right radius. There you go. Yeah, you're doing the right stuff, but you just need to be more positive with that power, and then it all stabilises. Yeah, it's becoming kind of unstable when you're having to hacksaw at the wheel because it's the root problem is the lack of power, or the lack of longer throttle usage. Sometimes it's just really helpful to feel what it's like as well, rather than sort of trying to think about it yourself. Just wait for these guys to do their thing. Yeah, we're just going to have to wait. I'll turn a little bit, and then this guy's going to pass on a hot lap, so he'll just be on and off.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, that guy, not enough power. Yeah, you can see the wheel trying to spin, and it speeds up when he bails out of it. Whereas if you just gave it the beams from the start, it breaks traction, doesn't give it the chance the car a chance to speed up. Doesn't give the tyre the chance to grip. If you give it enough power, spin the wheels like that. We'll go to about 1/4 past, shall we?
Okay. Yeah.
and then we'll come back in for a little break, and then we've got an hour and a half in the GTR then.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah, watch the rear tyre.
Okay, yeah.
You see every now and then just the spokes kind of come into view a bit more. Becomes less of a blur.
Yeah.
But you can see it's not necessarily a smooth arc all the way around, it's kind of coming around in steps, isn't it?
Yeah.
Comes around in bits at a time, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Big catch. Oh, he's gone. Once your front wheels hook onto that tarmac on the inside, you're going.
Oh, yeah.
He's just going to spin you around so quick. Oh, there's Russ. See you last time. Yeah. After you, sir. Right, you got this. Okay, 10 miles an hour. Going round the corner at the same radius, give yourself space either side. I want nice positive throttle use, okay? So we don't speed up, we get the wheels spinning instead. Alright? 10 miles an hour. Big burst of power, go for it. So that. Power. Okay, nice, yeah, good. Nice steering as well. And you can get the feeling that you're sliding further, not trying to stay on the power as much as you can. You're trying to project the car that way. That's it. See?
Oh, so much more fun.
All your problems have been resolved by just using the power a bit more, yeah? Jeremy Clarkson is right, you've got to use power, right?
Yeah.
So, that's it. Yes. Let's get to rhythm. That's where you want to go.
Sorry.
That's alright, that's alright. So if you open the steering wheel, okay, so the power is dictating how much the back of the car swings out, correct?
Okay.
And how much the wheels are spinning, obviously. You just cruise around at sort of 10 miles an hour. Obviously the steering wheel's still doing something, right? Now if the front of the car, if you're on a slide and the front of the car, you steer the front of the car this way a bit more, it's going to make the car straighten up, yeah? If you steer away, it's going to make the front of the car kind of get out of the way, and the back is allowed to come around even more. So you can use that to your advantage. Yeah, you can use that to your benefit. Like just then, we started to pick up a bit too much speed, didn't we? And we were starting to head kind of wider of the circle. So what should we do? We come off the power just a little bit to control the speed a bit more. Yeah, so we maybe give it a softer burst next time round, or come off altogether, and just open the steering a touch and let the car kind of jackknife on us a bit, but then use that sliding action to slow us down, and then it will come in, and then you catch it and pick up again. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's no need to go completely wild with it. There's never a need to kind of go, oh my god, like that. It's always just a little adjustment here, and then you're back. Yeah.
Old habits die hard.
No, I know. When you're ready. Speaking of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Power. Left. Wait for it. Wait. Yeah, so that big projection out to the left, yeah? So you've got to stay in the middle. Power. Steady on the power now. Steady on the power. Open the steering a touch. Like that, we're heading that way.
Yeah.
So let's open the steering and get the car to rotate, yeah? If you're overcorrecting, you're blocking the car from coming round you more, which is not allowing the car to turn the corner, right?
Okay.
Eventually the car's got to come around you a bit more to come around the corner. That's it. Steady. That's it. Wait. That's it. Open touch. Wait. Open. Steady. Yeah, it started wobbling the wheel again there.
Yeah.
You opened it the first time and it was great, and then you closed it again.
Yeah, because I felt like the back end was going to spin up. We were going to spin basically.
It wasn't, because we were losing speed. Yeah,
Okay.
we weren't on the power. Yeah, And then when you do get on the power again, you've just opened it a touch to get the car to rotate, and you've achieved that. So then when you do get back on the power to keep the wheels spinning, you just close it a touch again.
Okay.
Just that's right. It's only ever the most adjustment. If you're getting it right, the most adjustments you should be doing is like that. It should be like a hand width, a hand's height each direction.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. Left, power, open touch, that's it, steady, that's it, power, 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 power. Like that, that's like anticipation, just you need to get back on that power to get the wheel spinning again faster. Steady, whoa, wait. Just, yeah, that second and third burst, that's a bit too wide. With a car like this as well, so much weight, once it starts moving that way, it's like, you wait for hours to come over for it to come back. Look around the corner. Yeah. I think you're just looking over there as well a little bit more too much. So just look around the corner. Where you want to go. Power, 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 power. Back in down. Steady. That's it. Wait. Look around the corner. Touch. Just overcorrecting, just a smidge all the time, and it's just always just taking us too wide. Yeah. Let the car go around the corner. All right. Power, 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 power. Open a touch, open a touch, open a touch. Oh, that's too much.
We're going to spin out.
That's a lot, that's because that's a big movement.
Oh, okay.
That was a big snap, that was about a quarter turn, right?
Right.
Remember I said it's like that?
Oh, that's what, okay, sorry.
Like a hand height, yeah? You let go basically, it went a half, it went a quarter turn. Yeah? Give it some. That's it. So once I open a touch, it's literally like just pull it down, like that.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Open, power, 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 power.
Yeah, okay.
Just then go back on the power again. Steady, open the touch, power, power. Gotta get back on that power.
Yeah, I'm not quick enough on
That's
that.
right.
Yeah.
When we're opening a touch, yeah, when we're opening the steering wheel up to get the car to rotate, we can also help the car rotate by getting on the power to kick the back end down. Yeah.
Okay.
I know you're worried about the back end coming around, but that's what we want. That's what we want to happen. Yeah, we want that to happen to get the car around the corner, right?
Okay.
So, open, left foot, that's it. Just a little bit, left and right, just like hand width, hand height, yeah? That's it. That's it. Jabbing at it and kind of going left, right, open it, pull it and hold it in that position until it starts rotating and then close it back.
Yeah.
So, power, 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 just open a touch, open touch, open touch, power, 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 power. Steady, wait for it, power, 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 steady, power, on and off that power. That's it, now you see how it works, touch open, steady, whoa. Yeah, gave it a big wallop of power.
Oh.
But no, by that time you started to feel, didn't you? Like,
Yeah.
that little, just a little, you don't need as much steering, especially in this car, it's so responsive. It's telepathic. We'll do one more lap and we'll head back to the track for the last.
Okay.
Last bit. Power. Get the back end down. Steady now. There. Steady. Power. Steady. That's it. Steady. Whoa. Getting the rhythm with that power. So they're going just attacking it randomly. They're going rum. Like that. It's going rum. Remember when I did it?
Yeah.
There's no kind of erraticness to it. It's on and off. That's it. Steady. Open touch. Steady. Open touch. I'll jump off it.
No, I actually really enjoyed that. That was good.
Good stuff. Through the gap. Hot laps is nearly done, so we're just kind of in their way a little bit. Left here. And
Can we try try another launch control?
Yeah, of course, yeah, go for it.
It's just so good.
It's mega, isn't it? Yeah. Tyres are cooled off a bit as well, so if anything, it might help. Just helps that little bit of wheel spin. Don't necessarily a car like this doesn't necessarily need like max tyres. Well, like, that doesn't help to have tyres. Yes, that last little turn you did was much better because we were being more positive and on and off with the power. It literally should just be like a metronome, yeah. And I mean, you saw me early on the straight on the wet straight with the data. It was like on off exactly the same height. And going around the corner, going around the circle earlier was just like, you know, it's a regular beat, and occasionally I just go right, and carry on, and that's all it is, yeah. Right, ready to start when you're ready. Wet tyres. I did that. If anything, it felt like it pulled even more because the wheel spin allowed it to rev even higher. It kept pulling, you know. They usually stabilise at around 4,000 or 5,000. It was climbing up to like 6.5.
Yeah, I could definitely feel it. Like it was really struggling to start.
Yeah. Alright, do you want to head around the track a bit more?
Oh yeah, sure.
It's totally down to you, whatever you want to do.
Actually, if I'm honest with you, I was really enjoying the drifting stuff.
Then by all means, what we'll do, we can't take the GTR on the circuit, so probably worth just sticking with the circle. Yeah, absolutely.
What's another thing? I know this is a 9-speed MCT, but it's so fast.
Yeah.
I'm amazed. Like.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's as fast as DCT, but it's.
We do the parades in the when Silver Arrows isn't running. Sometimes we do a parade with the SLS and Black Series, and you know they're both like I love them to bits. The Black Series especially, it's just Black Series C63. It's just stunning piece of kit. I mean, talk about rotating around the front of the car. You just have to do that and it kind of go like that, and just the road starts going, and you're like, this is brilliant. But yeah, the gearbox is
terrible on it.
You like pull it and it's like I do it we do like a lap of the circuit, and then we kind of go around the outer ring of the wet circle and kind of, you know, give it a revs for the crowd and stuff like that. And to do that you have to like pop it into neutral. So you're rolling past and pop it in neutral, give it some revs, and then you're going to like pop it back in drive and pin it up the
it doesn't
up onto
go
turn
in
4.
drive quickly.
And you put it in drive and it's like bang, and suddenly just goes. It's like, Jesus, alright. Yeah, pull up behind the double white line there, and we'll just let them get around the other end. Then we can cruise on. When you're ready, off you go.
Can we put it in drift mode again?
Yes. You just come to a stop just there. Pull both pedals and then up. Yeah, so again, 10 miles an hour, go around the corner, space, steady, wait for it. You want to get the sort of feeling that it kind of sits in the middle.
Yeah.
It's not going left to right, and that comes from. That's better. Well, now it's getting. You ran out of steam, like. You just see what I mean about being knife edge, and then combined with that steering lock, it's really, really.
It was just sort of
tricky.
progressively. Oh, are we?
Yeah, you're fine. You got those space.
It was just getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
And I couldn't hold it.
Yeah, the momentum takes you around eventually. But that first initiation, that's why it's the most important bit, right? It's the thing that sets the trajectory. Yeah. If you don't get it right, you're kind of like sorting it out for a bit, you know. And you want that feeling of the car kicking out and sort of settling in the middle straight away, you know. Just kind of pivoting the spot. Too low on the revs. Get the revs up. That's it. There we go. Again, the rev. Don't have to be crazy. Just on and off. Let it slide. cranking out speed and we're going wider and wider and we start getting on the power more often, yeah? Getting a rhythm. If you want it to slow, the speed of the car will match the BPM you're hitting with the power, yeah?
Okay.
If you're hitting it loads of times a second, it's going to go faster and faster and start leaving, yeah? That's it. You've got to let it slow, you've got to let that little bit of deceleration come into the car, like that. You feel that?
Yeah, yeah, I see what you mean now.
And it stays in, like there. That's it, you see? Wait.
Oh, come on. When it goes, it just goes.
It does, yeah. We just it it's got a second burst of power in a bit too soon. That's all. But yeah, when it goes, it definitely just goes. Yeah. Doesn't that that's got low profile, doesn't it? I mean, the thing is, like when it's lucky. It is lucky it's not raining today, because yeah, you're just waiting for that little bit of deceleration. There. Yeah, that's the stabilisation I'm talking about. Wait for it. Like we missed it that time. I think it's wider and wider and wider. Yeah. You've got to wait for it before you then pick up the power again.
Okay.
Yeah, we're lucky it's not raining today because the GTs are notorious for their handling in the wet.
Oh, yeah.
They are god awful. So you see what's the circle? Let the deceleration come in. Just rushing it. Just rushing it. Right up against this white line. Yeah?
Yeah.
Don't need to rush it. Around the corner. Around the corner. Pow, 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 pow. Steady now. Don't rush it. Take your time. Pow, 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 pow.
See, it takes too long to get to the decelerator. I'm just impatient, basically.
Yeah, I mean that's the knife edge I'm talking about again. You know, it's like not only is it just going to get to a point and go, but that sort of deceleration point that you feel is much more noticeable in a GT, in a C63, sorry. Whereas in the 4-door, it's like it flies past it. So you got to anticipate it a bit more accurately. That's it. Wait. Just getting on it too soon again. Projecting it the wrong direction. Yeah. Get the car to rotate, and because of the lack of steering lock that you can get, that means you get less angle in the car, right? So you have to go. The drift is going to have to be a bit slower than the C. That's better. Not going to touch. Just wait. Pow. Wait. Pow. Wait. Open. Off the path. Pow. Right. That's looking good. Ready? That's it. Let it decelerate into the middle, so it almost feels like it's about to come into the circle, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah? And when it starts to straighten up, if it is starting to straighten up, don't let it. Keep turning and get on the power, yeah?
Okay.
I know where the car in front of us, but... That's it, that's more like the rhythm. That's it, yeah. Steady, wait. Open, tap, open, steady.
Was it just too much speed then?
Yeah, just started to gather momentum, didn't we? Yeah, I started leaving the inside white line. So much better though. You can see the difference. You know?
Yeah.
It just becomes so much easier when you give it some power to work with. You know?
And so much more fun.
Yes. Yeah. Steady now. Let's do one more lap and then we'll head back in. Steady, whoa. Wait. Look around the corner. Pow. Steady. What? Pow. Wait. Steady. Pow. Wait. Pow. Yeah, when we had to pick back up again, it was like 2 really big revs and that. Yeah, but that's just, it wasn't because of the revs. We kind of lost it already before. No, good effort, mate. It's not the easiest car in the world to drift, and I'll tell you what, it is. Big right. If you wanted to do more of that, we can do something. We can do a session in the GT, and then we can jump back in a C63 for the last half hour or something.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. An hour and a half in the GT is pretty intense. So yeah, we'll do. Let's do a short run in the GT. Well, I'll let you call it. I'll let you say. Okay. Done with the GT. But I reckon probably about until what, 4, just past 4, something like that. Okay. Yeah, it's up to you. If you want a longer, then by all means, you can always say, and we can just adjust it on the go. And take it out of drift mode for the pedestrian area. To reverse entry it into the parking spot. Yeah, we pop it where we got it from. What was I going to say? Yeah, and we can have a half hour in the end or something like that in the sea, or for an hour, or whatever you want. Yeah, whatever you want to do. The world is your oyster. Mercedes-Benz world is your oyster. Okay, that's good. If you could reverse it, that'd be fantastic.
Oh,
if you don't want to, then you can just nose it in.
Can I just nose it?
Yeah, go for it.
Got no idea if this is right, but
It's fine. It's okay. You're in a GT63, no one can tell you what to do. So.